Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit of how I basically gave birth. Okay, so I want to start off the video by saying if you're a mom or you're going to become a mom, I just want to congratulate you right now because being a mom is such hard work. Like, I thought the pregnancy part was hard. I thought the giving birth part was hard, but no. That's the easy part. The hard part is when you have your baby. And she's right there. And it's just crazy to me because I really thought that I was having a hard time while being pregnant and stuff, and like I thought the contractions was crazy. Like, ¿qué pasó, mi amor? And honestly, is the having the baby, not having the baby, having to be taking care of the baby. Yes, that's really hard. So you're amazing and you're awesome because it's honestly a crazy experience. Okay, I'm gonna go pick him up because if you see me bouncing, I'm actually on the bouncing ball, so it can be easier for me to bounce him. Anyways, so where was I? Okay, so it all started on, I was actually 39 weeks pregnant and like 6 days when it started. Yeah, my 39-week appointment, I went to go get a checkup. You know, once towards the ending, you get weekly checkups. So I went and I was so excited because I really thought that like they were gonna tell me that I was like 5 centimeters open already and send me to the hospital. But unfortunately, it was not like that. I went and they told me that I was only 1 centimeter open. Well, not even, I was like half a centimeter open. And I was so super sad, and like I cried home. I literally cried home because I literally thought that I would be like at least 3 or 4 because if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, um, I don't have an elevator right now. They're working on it, and basically my whole pregnancy I've been going up and down the stairs, and I live on the 6th floor. So imagine that I've been carrying a 7-pound baby in my stomach for this pregnancy. Well, towards the ending, going up and down, I thought by this time, like by 39 weeks, like, you know, I'll be Gucci. Like, I'll be like set. Like, I thought it would open me faster. So unfortunately, it didn't. So that day, I went home and I was super sad because I was only half a centimeter open. So I was like, you know what? Today I'm doing the video. If you guys haven't seen this, and I'm gonna leave a link down below. The video where I induce my labor, and I did that. If you guys watch the video, you guys gonna know what I did. And actually, I think that actually really helped a lot because I started getting contractions that same night. In the night, I felt contractions. They weren't really as painful as later on, but they were painful. They were like from a one through 10. I would say they were like a 7, and I was feeling them like every 8 to 6 minutes. And I have the app where you press it every contraction, and they like count it down for you or whatever. They time it for you, and they send you a message whenever it's time for you to go. So I ended up getting that message, and I was like, oh wow, I think I'm gonna go into labor now. So I ended up going to the hospital with my husband. Well, I stood all night having those contractions. I barely slept. Like, I kept getting up. I wasn't really screaming, but I couldn't really sleep because it felt really like painful and uncomfortable. So in the morning, I ended up telling my husband that we should really go because I really think it's happening and I don't want to risk anything. So we ended up going. We actually took the bus because the hospitals are really far from my house, and it was like $60 in a taxi, so I was not gonna do that. Plus, I thought I had more time to like just walk it out and stuff. So we went in bus, and then we walked from a few blocks. And then we got to the hospital, and guess what? They checked me, and I was only one. I was only 1 freaking centimeter. I was so freaking mad. I started crying again, but I was honestly like, I was honestly telling them like, can I please just stay, because like this is painful. Like I feel like if I stay, it's just gonna go faster and this and that. And but they were like, no, I'm sorry that I just have to breathe through the contractions, and it's better to just wait at home in a comfortable environment and this and that. In the hospital, you're not gonna be able to eat, and at home you can. I was just like, oh my god, I really, really like, I don't want to be here. Like this hurts. Like this really, I mean, I don't want to leave. This hurts really bad. So they end up telling me just breathe through them, and it actually did help. Breathing through your contractions, well, like your first contractions before you get the worst contractions, breathing through them really, really helps. And she just said try to like ignore them kind of and just breathe through them, and doing that actually really made me like feel better. And we ended up going home. Well, we ended up going to my mom's house because it was closer to the hospital. So we went to my mom's house all day, and then I was just you birth babies. And then I went, yeah, I was in her house, and I was just like walking around with contractions, trying to like, you know, let them go or whatever. And I was just like that all day. In the nighttime, we ended up going, well, not in the nighttime, it was like in the afternoon, like 7 o'clock in the night. We ended up going again because I really couldn't handle it. So we went with my mom this time, and they sent me back home again. Yeah, they sent me back home because I was only a centimeter and a half, 1 centimeter and a half. I'm like, why is this thing going so slow? And I feel them like so like close to each other, and like it hurts. It hurts really bad. And so we ended up going home. I was crying again because we ended up going home. So when we actually stayed in my mom's house because since she's close or whatever, we thought it was gonna happen soon. So we just stood there, and she ended up taking me a hot warm bath. She helped me take a bath. Yes, I was naked in front of my mom, but yes, it felt amazing. Like I could still feel the contractions in the tub, but it felt so good with the warm water. So amazing. So yeah, I was doing that, and in the yeah, like around like, let's say, I swear I'm not moving baby Axel like really like hard. It just looks like that. And plus he likes to be again because swayed I just really hard. Handle it. Well, I was thinking of just staying there because they're gonna send me back home. Like I know they're gonna send me back home. But my mom was like, no, let's just go because I can't see you like this anymore. It hurts me to like hear you scream and this and that. So we did end up going. My mom kept telling me, just go and ask for a C-section. I'm like, you bugging. Like, I'm not gonna get a C-section. That's just too much. So we went, and then I was 2 centimeters and a half, and they saw how much pain I was in, so they just kept me. Like, hospitals are supposed to only keep you when you're like 5 or more. And they kept me because I was just really in so much pain. I was actually exaggerating it so they can let me stay. Like, exaggerating it. So, I mean, it was painful, but I was exaggerating my face expressions and screaming crazy so they can let me stay. And so they let me stay, and I asked for the epidural ASAP. You know what? I went, like, everyone always tells me don't plan your, don't plan because when you end up going to the hospital, it doesn't end up being the way you want it to, the way you plan it. But I planned that once like I end up like getting admitted into the hospital, I would ask for the epidural ASAP if I couldn't handle it. So that's what I did. I asked for the epidural ASAP. Like 20 minutes after I was in there, they put the epidural in me, and I knocked out. Like I went to sleep like a baby. I had no pain. Like once they put the epidural, the nurse, she was like, how do you feel? And I was just like, oh baby, what's happening? Stop it. Once what's it called? What was I was saying? Oh yeah, she was like, how are you feeling? I was like, I don't feel anything right now. And she's like, good, because you just had a great big contraction just now. I'm like, that's crazy. I think it's crazy the fact that I was streaming and couldn't handle it at 20% of contractions. You know, contractions go up to like 180. That's crazy. And I couldn't handle 20%. Like I can't imagine how people, I mean how women go through a natural birth, you know? But anyways, yeah, I didn't feel anything, so I fell asleep. They told me that they were gonna come back in 4 hours to check me how much I've opened. When they came back 4 hours, I was already 5 centimeters open, and I was like, oh, thank God, this is actually working. They say that the more you feel calm and relaxed, is the more you'll be able to open. So I was like, oh, thank God I asked for that epidural, because if not, I would have been here forever in pain. So they said, okay, now we're gonna come back 4 hours more later to see how much you've opened. They come back 4 hours later, or I think it was like 3 hours. They came back 3 hours later, and I was open 5.5. I was like, what? That is crazy. I thought I was gonna be 10 already. So they're like, okay, we're just gonna come back in 4 more hours, and we'll see what's going on. Okay. So I waited 4 more hours. Oh, I forgot to mention 5 centimeters and a half.
Sorry guys, baby fell asleep.
So as I was saying, they put the pitocin inside. They only put like 2% of pitocin inside, but pitocin is basically like an induction to help you contract more and open more. I guess that's how you would explain it, but yeah, once they put that inside me at 5 centimeters, they said they were gonna come back 4 hours later, and oh no, at 5.5 centimeters is when they put it in, and they were gonna come back 4 hours later to see if anything happened, and they basically came in like 3 hours and a half later because I had a sensation of pushing, and I was actually telling my mom and my husband that I really need a push. Like I feel like I need to take a kaki, and I kept just saying that because it really feels like that. Like if like you get out of nowhere, you get this feeling. Like I wasn't feeling anything because I had the epidural, but the whole time that I had the epidural, I never really pressed the button to like give me more epidural. I've like with just that one dose they gave me from the beginning, I didn't feel anything. So I guess they gave me the strongest dose, and but towards the ending was when I started feeling like my stomach feel like, you see when you really need to take like a kaki, and you like you're holding it, but you can't wait to go to the bathroom because it hurts your stomach already so bad. That's how it feels. Like it feels like that for like 2 seconds, and then it goes away. But once you feel that like motion, um, you feel like you need to push. So I was feeling like that for like 5 minutes because the doctor was not hurrying up. He actually took more than that, like 10 minutes. But um, I was feeling that sensation, and I just kept telling my mom, like, I really need to push, like, right now. Like, I felt like he was going down. I felt him coming down. Like, I can feel his head coming down. Like, I felt numb, but I can still feel, like, I don't feel the pain, but I feel it. You know what I mean? And the doctor finally came in, and he's gonna check me, and he checks me, and he says, wow, you're 10 centimeters open already. You can start pushing whenever you want. And I'm like, finally, because like I need to push already. Like I feel like his head is like crazy right now. It's like a cone head right now because I can feel it. So the nurse, the doctor actually leaves, and the nurse is the one that like helped me give birth. So she tells my husband to hold one leg and my mom to hold another leg, and for me to just hold in my breath and for 10 seconds push, right? So she's doing that. We practiced once, and something actually happened, but I don't really want to say it right now on camera because it's embarrassing. But So when I started pushing, um, I felt like I really couldn't. Like in my head, I was already like, damn. I meant to say C-section. Get an epidural. I've seen so many videos on like once they start pushing, they end up getting an epidural because they can't push. So that's how I was thinking. Like that's my mindset right now. And um, then the nurse sees, like notices that I'm like having trouble. It's been like 10 minutes that I'm like having trouble, and then she's like, okay, so I can almost see the head, but the thing is that like inside, like try to visualize it inside your mind that there's this bone in like there's a bone right here, right? And his head is behind that bone. You have to like try to push it under that bone for him to like come out. So in my head, I visually like saw that me trying to push, and it helped so much that she described that to me because I don't know, it just made me like see it in my head and try to push it out at the same time. I don't know how to explain it, but I was doing that, and I visually did that, and like with 2 pushes, she saw the head. She said it went under that bone or whatever it was, and she sees the head. She sees a whole lot of hair. So she's like, okay, you're great. Like this is helping. So I'm like, oh my god, my mom and my husband don't know how to freaking help me because like I feel like I'm carrying my own legs. So I just tell them get off. Like I was screaming at them. I'm like, you guys are not helping. So I grabbed my own legs, and I grabbed my own legs, and like I grabbed my own legs, pushing them up. Like after he birthed, my arms were probably sore. Like I couldn't even push it. But anyways, I grabbed my own legs, and I was like, I pushed and I pushed like 3 times. I pushed, and the baby came out. I was so happy. You know what's crazy? Because also what gave me motivation to go hard was the fact that the nurse, she was saying how, oh girl, don't worry, take your time. First time moms always take like at least 3 hours. I'm pretty sure by like 10 o'clock he'll be out of here. I'm like, girl, not me. I am not doing no 3 hour labor. 3 hour pushing. You bugging. So when she said that, the baby came out like this because I was not gonna wait 3 hours. Like to all the moms that like have trouble pushing and take a long time pushing, like you guys are. I'm sorry, but I can't do that. I can't. So when she said that, I pushed, and it's crazy to me because yeah, she was saying that usually moms take like 3 hours, and I only took 20 minutes. I started pushing at 7:20. And he came out at 7:54, so, or 7:52, one of those. So basically like around 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, I was so proud of myself. Like the doctor wasn't even in there yet when the baby was already like there. He was like putting his gloves on when the baby came out. Like my baby could have fell on the floor. Like yeah, really thinking like I'm not tough. Like nah, let me stop. But anyways, the baby came out and they put him on top of me. And like since the last sonogram that I did, the 3D sonogram, like I visually saw how he looks. He looks just like his sonogram pictures. Like I already felt like I knew him. Like when I saw the pictures of that my mom took, I'm gonna put pictures here somewhere as I'm saying the story. But it's crazy to me because I look super like surprised. I look super, I don't know how to explain it. But I'll put the picture and you guys will see. I just look so, I don't know, just staring. And yeah, I saw him, and as they put him on the bed to like take him out and stuff, me está cosiendo, like the doctor was stitching me up because I had opened, I did a 2-degree rip, I think that's what it's called, but it was a 2. And then I felt like how he was stitching, but I really didn't feel it, but it hurt. And then I was just so happy. Like I gave birth, I feel like I gave birth fast. Like, my stay at the hospital was only 10 hours. 10 hours or less. Because I went in over 12 hours because I went in around 6:50, so like around 7 in the morning, and I gave birth around 7. So yeah. And then, yeah, we got our own private room, and the first day that he was born, the Super Bowl was on. And actually, I have a video of it, and I'll post it here somewhere.
I just want to show you, Axel. No, it's still your first day on this earth, and there's a Super Bowl playing. The San Francisco 49ers versus some other guys called Chiefs.
That's messed up.
I don't really watch football, Axel, but just wanted to share this with you. I love you, Axel. You're right there, under the game. You're sleeping right now. Alright, Axel.
Look at me. Baby Axel gave me 2-degree rip, right? And but I pushed under 20 minutes.
Yo,
Can't
you
believe
did
that.
it like a professional, so fast. Literally, the labor lasted like what, 20 minutes, right?
The
actual not the labor, but the actual pushing part.
Yeah.
Once she was 10 centimeters dilated, it was like around what, 7 something.
It was 7 on the dot. No, it was 7:20.
Like 7, yeah.
Seven-
Nah, I wasn't. Yeah,
it was
like
7:20, and then
the doctor was like, "Oh, that estimated since this is your first baby, since this is her first baby, that around 10 he was gonna come out. That sometimes it takes 3 hours, sometimes longer. Don't feel discouraged, bro. 7:54 he was born, but we could see the head from her vagina already by like 7:50 or something.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then boom.
Yo, that was insane. I was holding her right leg. I was right there through everything. It was just crazy. It was crazy. Once I saw my son's head, I was like, yo, baby, you got this. You got this. You have to do
And yo, once I felt his head there, and they told me that his head was there, so yo, I'm pushing him out. Like I only breathed like once,
Yeah.
and then I pushed him, and then I breathed another thing, and then the whole thing, he just came out.
Literally, the doctor didn't do anything. You did all the work.
I know.
The doctor hadn't even had his gloves on by the time like his head was out.
Yeah.
He was like hurrying up to put his gloves on. And he basically just got there to catch him. And that's it. It was crazy. I didn't like how they attended it.
Yeah.
Thank God everything came out.
Yeah, thank God Axel's here, and
Axel's here.
he's so cute.
My God. He's
So
perfect.
happy.
More perfectly I could even imagine him. And we've been away from him.
He looks just like his sonogram picture.
Yeah, he does.
Like when I seen him, I'm like, I know you already, because I feel like that's like the photo looks exactly like him. But yeah.
That's crazy. It was a crazy experience.
Can't believe I've gave birth. But I can actually say in my life I've gave birth. Naturally.
Was it how everybody hyped it up to be? Not hyped it up, but like was it how
like
everybody
the contractions?
tried to scare you?
Yes, the contractions. Yes.
Yeah, I believe that. We had 2 nights no sleep, 2 whole nights. We came to the hospital 3 times.
Yeah.
The first 2 times we got sent back.
The first time I was only dilated 1 centimeter.
And the second time.
Second time also, and then the third time, I was 2. But since they saw how much pain I was in, they kept me. And then I stood there for like how many hours? Like 5 hours. But yeah, that was my labor and delivery story. And it's just crazy because after you give birth, watching these videos is different from when before you give birth. Because after you give birth, like you already know how it is, like how contractions feel and all of this. And then once you see like other people's stories, it's just so crazy because it's like, oh, I went through that same thing, or damn, she had it easy, or damn, she had it hard. But we're all brave, and we should all be proud of ourselves, and just be happy we have our little ones. I'll be doing other videos. I'll be doing other videos on how my postpartum part went, and yeah, and how my contractions felt, and all this good stuff, and how it is taking care of a newborn. I'll probably do a morning routine one of these days, or a night routine. But just know that I'm a day shift and night shift mom. My husband works a lot, so he can't really help out. But